what Mark Kasowitz was talking about. But this is high stakes.
But this was
it
not
diverts his attention from governance.
What is at stake? The American people are going to watch this today, and they're going to say lies and leaking. What's at stake?
The ability of Donald Trump to govern is at stake. I'm not talking about impeachment. I'm talking about
getting stuff done.
Right, the refocusing of the president's concentration and time on the business of governance. Make some compromises with Chuck Schumer and Mrs. Pelosi. Get some things passed. Get the Republicans in line. None of that stuff is happening because all of this is happening.
Well, you just laid out like a dream fantasy land because nobody's working with anyone, and the Republicans so far in the House and the Senate, more in the Senate, seem to be suffering from complete inertia. They cannot move anything forward. There's no consensus at all. The Dow is starting to sell off. It's down 31 points right now. Basically, if you don't get tax reform and a health care overhaul done by the end of the year, you're looking at a recession in this country.
Agreed.
We've heard that on Maria Bartiromo.
It's true. It's true. I fully agree with you. And there's very little time between now and Labor Day when both the House and Senate are in session. Right now, it's down to fewer than, even though it's only early June, it's fewer than 30 days.
Yep. Politically, it's very little time between now and midterms. It's coming fast. Trust me.
All right. You can call them bombshells. People are. Another one out of today's testimony. Comey's take on that infamous tarmac meeting between Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch during the private server investigation. What Lynch told Comey to do that he did not like at all.
So, how can I help you?
Have you ever walked into the paint store feeling like you should really know more than you know? Satin versus semi-gloss and I don't know.
Yes, I know the feeling.
That's how I feel right now about all of the financing options for this project I'm doing. I feel like I should know more than I know.
Don't sweat it. We have this new tool, My Credit Options Guide, that gives you a customized comparison like this, which helps you discover which credit options might be right for you.
Oh, this is better. They should make one for paint.
Want to get started?
Sure.
Today, we're finally getting our bathtub redone. We weren't happy with it.
Well, we didn't want the headaches of demolition.
Or the days without our bathroom. Then a friend told us about Bath Fitter and their unique tub-over-tub process. There's no demolition, and they install in as little as a day. They also have a seamless wall for a watertight fit. And Bath Fitter has a lifetime guarantee. What a difference. Finally, a bathtub I love.
Call today or learn more at bathfitter.com.
Western people don't know much about you. No rules. Why did Russia hack the election?
The Putin Interviews, a 4-night event only on Showtime. Start your free trial now.
Liberty Mutual stood with us when a fire destroyed everything in our living room. We replaced it all without touching our savings.
Yeah, our insurance won't do that.
No.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Friday. Australian duo for King and Country perform live on the Fox & Friends stage. It's our all-American summer concert series, brought to you by Keurig.
The sun used to make our outdoor deck and patio space so hot and uncomfortable, we couldn't use it.
But then we discovered the Sunsetter retractable awning. Our Sunsetter retractable awning opens and closes in just 60 seconds. It keeps our patio about 20 degrees cooler.
It provides instant shade and instant protection from the sun's harmful rays.
And our Sunsetter costs under $700.
But now you can get your Sunsetter for as little as $599 when you call now to get this special $200 discount certificate and free awning idea kit.
We love our Sunsetter retractable awning, and you're going to love yours too.
Sunsetter awnings are assembled in America and guaranteed to last for years. So call now to get this free awning idea kit with DVD, plus your $200 Sunsetter discount certificate.
But this is a limited time offer.
Call now.
Call now for your free awning idea kit with DVD and $200 discount certificate. There's no obligation.
I think they have one of those video doorbell things.
What?
It's called a Ring.
What?
Ring video doorbell means I can see you and this guy.
What's up there, Slick? Smile for the floodlight.
Knuckleheads. The Ring video doorbell and floodlight cam. See, speak, or sound an alarm right from your phone.
There are many firefighters that have experienced hearing loss, and I'm one of them.
Missing a statement that could get somebody injured, it's critical.
Right now, Beltone is offering free hearing evaluations.
Hearing loss can be corrected. It doesn't slow me down in a bit.
If you're one of the 48 million who experience hearing loss, call 1-800-BELTONE today for your free hearing evaluation from the most trusted partner in hearing care.
It will improve your quality of life exponentially. Call Beltone today.
The Clinton campaign at the time was using all kinds of euphemisms, security review, matters, things like that for what was going on. We were getting to a place where the Attorney General and I were both going to have to testify and talk publicly about it. And I wanted to know, was she going to authorize us to confirm we had an investigation? And she said, yes, but don't call it that, call it a matter. And I said, why would I do that? And she said, just call it a matter. But it gave the impression that the Attorney General was looking to align the way we talked about our work with the way a political campaign was describing the same activity, which was inaccurate. We had a criminal investigation open.
There you heard it, James Comey laying out why he went public with the server probe and that Loretta Lynch told him to call the investigation a matter and not an investigation. What is the difference between those two things?
Well, this resulted in a lot of FBI agents kidding Jim Comey. Oh, you're now the director of the Federal Bureau of Matters rather than the Federal Bureau of Investigations. I had not heard that. I'd heard about the matters before, but I did not hear his fear that Loretta Lynch was asking him to track the language that the Clinton campaign was using, which would be a serious abuse of power on the part of Mrs. Lynch.
But this language that he's using, that it made him feel queasy when that happened. This is part of what I was talking about, of Jim Comey being solely focused on burnishing his reputation.
Does he have stomach problems?
Right, exactly. But again, he is a master. I just want to point out really quickly, the Wall Street Journal early this year in January, when they asked, the Trump administration asked Comey to stay on as FBI director, the lead of the editorial in the Journal on January 25th was regrets. They'll have a few. In terms of the Trump administration doing that, and I think they have more than a few regrets.
How about the flip side of that? Regrets they'll have a lot for firing.
That's exactly
If he wasn't fired, we wouldn't be talking about this today.
Is it the firing or is it the way that it rolled out?
Both.
We wouldn't have a special prosecutor today. I firmly believe Bob Mueller would not be in that job if Jim Comey had never been fired.
Agreed.
And that's a product of Trump's own making.
You know, we've kind of gone back and forth with this idea of whether Comey felt pressured. Where do you come down on that? Because it's impossible to know now. He kind of seems to be telling two stories.
I don't think he felt pressured because he said he didn't feel pressured. He understood. I hope you can see your way to let Mike Flynn go. He's a good man as an order which he promptly disobeyed.
Right.
But he said he wasn't strong enough to tell the president, I'm not Captain Courageous. I didn't feel strong enough to stand up and tell the president.
I have been in that environment where he has said things. He has such a towering personality. Sometimes you just sort of swallow it and go on to the next subject rather than refuting what he said.
Are you defending James Comey?
No, I'm just saying I understand Jim Comey's thinking. It is better to end the conversation and get out of here than to go toe-to-toe with the man in the Oval Office over his choice of words.
All right, we're going to go toe-to-toe with a commercial, but we're coming right back. Stay with us.
I would like to take a moment to address my fellow veterans because I know there are so many of you who have served your country honorably, whether it's 2 years, 4 years, or 32 years like myself. One of the benefits that we as a country give you as a veteran is your eligibility for a VA loan. Not 80%, but 100% the value of your home, and that's what you can get at New Day USA.
Go to newdayusa.com or call 1-855-707-5775. It's a new day for veterans who want to refinance.
That's me.
The New Day 100 VA loan lets you refinance your mortgages, consolidate your credit card debt, get cash, and lower your payments an average of $640 a month. New Day will even pay for your appraisal.
That's me.
As a vet, you've earned the right to apply for a home loan that's VA guaranteed. For veterans who want to refinance, that can mean a lot.
That's me.
Call New Day USA now, 1-855-707-5775.
If you use denture paste instead of Seabond seals, your dentures may not hold as strong all day.
Only C-Bond has gradual release technology, so it holds 75% stronger all day versus the leading paste without the ooze. C-Bond, stronger hold all day.
At Joseph A. Bank, buy one, get one free and get all your wardrobe essentials. Also, buy one, get one 50% off on shoes, plus traveler suits are $249, and all signature sport coats and blazers are just $199. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
Over there! Over there!
Whoever threw it has to go get it. Somebody will get it.
Anyone can dream. Making it a reality is the hard part. From the B-2 to the upcoming B-21, Northrop Grumman stealth bombers give America an advantage in a turbulent world. And we're looking for a few dreamers to join us.
This is the 0811X driver from PXG. Without a doubt, it's the longest, lowest spinning, best feeling, sweetest sounding driver we've ever made. Kaboom, baby! PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Hi, so I just got off the phone with our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness. So the incredibly minor accident that I had tonight.
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
That's right, keep rocking. SiriusXM's free listening event might be over, but you can turn us back on with packages starting for a limited time at just $5.99 a month plus fees. Just visit SiriusXM.com/GetSXM to keep hearing all the things that make you love taking the long way home. So visit SiriusXM.com/GetSXM or call 1-844-479-6669 to turn us back on and up.
Critical times, historic decisions, unbelievable stories, and no one takes you inside them all like Martha MacCallum. It's smart, fair, and unflinching coverage. That's The Story with Martha MacCallum, every weeknight at 7.
President Trump got on the record today after the fired FBI director testified on the Hill. Through his attorney, you saw it here live on Outnumbered. Judge Napolitano was here to help us break down the breaking news. Thanks for being here.
Pleasure to be with you.
Your
guys.
expertise
You're
is always
consummate
right on.
professionals, and I love being here when these things are happening in real time.
Excellent. We love having you.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, we'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern. And keep watching Fox News for all the day's developments. Here's Shep.
It's noon on the West Coast, 3 o'clock on Capitol Hill, where today the fired FBI Director James Comey accused the Trump administration of spreading lies and admitted that he intentionally leaked a memo to try to trigger a special prosecutor. Those but a couple of the dramatic moments in a morning full of them.
The administration then chose to defame me and, more importantly, the FBI. I was honestly concerned that he might lie about the nature of our meeting, and so I thought it really important to document.
Do you believe Donald Trump colluded with Russia?
It's a question I don't think I should answer in an open setting.
Minutes ago, Team Trump responded, the president's private lawyer going on the attack.
Today, Mr. Comey admitted that he unilaterally and surreptitiously made unauthorized disclosures to the press of privileged communications with the president.
And he denied that President Trump demanded loyalty from James Comey. Ahead, reaction and complete coverage of the Comey hearing, plus what we've learned and what we still need to find out. Let's get to it.
Now, Shepard Smith reporting, live from the Fox News deck.
First from the Fox News deck, Lordy, I hope they're tapes. That's what the fired FBI Director James Comey said today, among other things, about his meetings with President Trump. Comey testified that he was worried that the president might lie about their conversations, so he wrote them down in detail. Comey also said the White House did indeed lie about why President Trump fired him and about the FBI itself.
Although the law required no reason at all to fire an FBI director, the administration then chose to defame me and, more importantly, the FBI by saying that the organization was in disarray, that it was poorly led, that the workforce had lost confidence in its leader. Those were lies, plain and simple.
What was it about that meeting that led you to determine that you needed to start putting down a written record?
The circumstances, the subject matter, and the person I was interacting with. Circumstances first, I was alone with the President of the United States, or the President-elect, soon to be President. The subject matter, I was talking about matters that touch on the FBI's core responsibility and that relate to the President-elect personally. And then the nature of the person. I was honestly concerned that he might lie about the nature of our meeting, and so I thought it really important to document. That combination of things I'd never experienced before, but it led me to believe I got to write it down, and I got to write it down in a very detailed way.
James Comey testifying in one of the most anticipated congressional hearings in decades. Some bars in Washington, D.C. even opened early to show the live coverage. Comey said he believes President Trump was directing him to drop the investigation into the former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn when the president said, "I hope you can let this go."
He did not direct you to let it go.
Not in his words, no.
He did not order you to let it go.
Again, those words are not an order.
No. Do you know of any case where a person has been charged for obstruction of justice, or for that matter, any other criminal offense, where they said or thought they hoped for an outcome?
I don't know well enough to answer. And the reason I keep saying his words is I took it as a direction.
Right.
I mean, this is the President of the United States with me alone saying, I hope this. I took it as this is what he wants me to do. Now, I didn't obey that, but that's the way I took it.
You may have taken it as a direction, but that's not what he said.
Correct. That's why
he said, I hope.
Those are exact words. Okay. Correct.
Remember, President Trump fired Michael Flynn less than a month into that job. The White House says it was because Michael Flynn misled the Vice President Pence about conversations with the Russian ambassador. President Trump has said that he did not pressure Comey to drop the Flynn investigation. And the president's personal lawyer, just a short time ago, said Comey's own words prove that.
The president never, in form or substance, directed or suggested that Mr. Comey stop investigating anyone, including the president never suggested that Mr. Comey, quote, let Flynn go.
That lawyer once again highlighted that James Comey said he told President Trump he was not personally under investigation. More from the president's lawyer and from the White House coming up. Comey also said he believes Trump fired him, quote, in some way to change, or the endeavor was to change, the investigation into Russian meddling and potential collusion. The president admitted to NBC News the Russia investigation was indeed on his mind when he decided to fire James Comey. But the former FBI chief stopped short of accusing the president of obstruction. He says the special counsel overseeing the Russia investigation will make that judgment. Then there's the issue of loyalty. In the prepared remarks that we received yesterday, James Comey said the president had asked him for his loyalty during a dinner back in January. During that same dinner, Comey says the president asked whether he wanted to stay on as FBI director. Comey said it seemed to him that the president wanted something in return for keeping that job. Also, listen to what Comey says President Trump whispered in his ear during a fairly awkward encounter a couple of days after the inauguration, when Comey reportedly tried to blend into some curtains.
The dinner was an effort to build a relationship. In fact, he asked specifically of loyalty in the context of asking me to stay. And as I said, what was odd about that is we'd already talked twice about it by that point, and he'd said, I very much hope you'll stay. I hope you'll stay. In fact, I just remembered sitting here, a third one, when you've seen the picture of me walking across the Blue Room, and what the president whispered in my ear was, I really look forward to working with you. So after those encounters...
And that was just a few days before you were fired.
Yeah, that was on the Sunday after the inauguration. The next Friday, I have dinner, and the president begins by wanting to talk about my job. And so I'm sitting there thinking, wait a minute, 3 times you've already asked me to stay or talked about me staying. My common sense, again, I could be wrong, but my common sense told me what's going on here is that he's looking to get something in exchange for granting my request to stay in the job.
Some senators asked Comey, if you feel President Trump was being inappropriate, why didn't you say something? Comey's response, he was stunned, maybe a little intimidated, so he just took it in. And if he were stronger, he might have told the president to stop it. The chief intelligence correspondent, Catherine Herridge, is live on Capitol Hill. Catherine, we also learned James Comey gave his friend a memo regarding the meeting with President Trump to leak.
Well, that's right, Shep. We had a
situation today, for the first time in anyone's memory, that a former FBI director has said publicly that he deliberately leaked a government document, in this case, his memo about a conversation with President Trump, in the hopes that it would be a catalyst to a special counsel investigation. And what started it all were the president's tweets about tapes. Here's that exchange.
The president tweeted on Friday, after I got fired, that I better hope there's not tapes. I woke up in the middle of the night on Monday night, because it didn't dawn on me originally, that there might be corroboration for our conversation. There might be a tape. And my judgment was I needed to get that out into the public square. And so I asked a friend of mine to share the content of the memo with a reporter.
And that friend was a law professor at Columbia University, and we have reached them directly, and they've confirmed that's exactly what happened, Shep.
Catherine, he also said there were a number of reasons that the Attorney General had to recuse himself from this Russia investigation.
Well, let's go back to the late January meeting. This was the Oval Office meeting, this dinner, and it had to do about the Russia investigation. And at that time, there were questions about loyalty. There would later be questions about whether he wanted Flynn's investigation dropped. The president wanted Flynn's investigation dropped. And the former director testified today that there were a number of reasons that he just felt he could not go to his boss about what was happening. Here's that exchange.
Our judgment, as I recall, was that he was very close to and inevitably going to recuse himself for a variety of reasons. We also were aware of facts that I can't discuss in an open setting that would make his continued engagement in a Russia-related investigation problematic.
Comey went on to testify that at that meeting, before he was alone with the president, Attorney General Sessions and as well as Jared Kushner, kind of lingered at the end of the meeting, and he said he felt that their antenna were kind of up too about what was going to come next, Shep.
This hearing wasn't all about President Trump's dealing with Comey.
No, it wasn't. We had some pretty interesting headlines about the former Attorney General Loretta Lynch and her role in the Clinton email investigation. Republicans have leveled a lot of allegations against the former Attorney General, but Comey said today that, in fact, it was her meeting on the tarmac in Arizona with Bill Clinton just before Hillary Clinton's investigation by the FBI for mishandling information, classified information. That was really the catalyst for Comey to go public with his recommendation against criminal charges. Here's that exchange.
Probably the only other consideration that I guess I can talk about in an open setting is that at one point the Attorney General had directed me not to call it an investigation, but instead to call it a matter, which confused me and concerned me.
That was what happened after the tarmac meeting, and that's important because the Clinton team had consistently refused to call it an investigation, and there's only one kind of investigation the FBI does, Shep, and that is a criminal investigation.
Catherine Herridge, outside the briefing, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now more on the response from President Trump's personal lawyer. The attorney denies that the president demanded loyalty from James Comey.
The president also never told Mr. Comey, quote, "I need loyalty. I expect loyalty," close quote. He never said it in form, and he never said it in substance. Of course, the office of the president is entitled to expect loyalty from those who are serving the administration.
Earlier, the Deputy White House Press Secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, told reporters in an off-camera gaggle that they could say definitively that President Trump is not a liar. An apparent response to Comey's testimony that he thought the president might lie about their conversations and that he had lied about other matters. The president himself so far has not commented directly or even tweeted about Comey's testimony today. The chief White House correspondent, John Roberts, is live on the North Lawn. John?
And the president's outside attorney, Mark Kasowitz, Shep, trying to put the best face on all of this, really focusing in on his statement on the issue of whether or not the president was under investigation in the Russia investigation by the FBI, and the part of Comey's testimony where he corroborated that he told the president on at least 3 occasions that he was not a target of the investigation. Listen to what Kasowitz said on that point.
Mr. Comey has now finally confirmed publicly what he repeatedly told President Trump privately. That is, that the president was not under investigation as part of any probe into Russian interference. Mr. Comey's testimony also makes clear that the president never sought to impede the investigation into attempted Russian interference in the 2016 election.
Kasowitz handled the bulk of the response from the White House. As you pointed out, Shep, the only thing the White House would say about the testimony today was that the president was not a liar, and that even to raise the question was insulting. A lot of Republicans saw that answer as really kind of weak and Nixonian, and that the response to that particular part of that testimony needed to be much stronger than what we heard from the White House today. Shep?
Anything else from the president's team so far, John?
Yeah, one of the other things that Mark Kasowitz is focusing in on is the fact that Comey leaked that memo after the president tweeted as a way of getting a special prosecutor appointed. Kasowitz saying that it amounted to retaliation. Listen to what he said on that front.
Mr. Comey admitted that he leaked to friends of his purported memos of those privileged communications, one of which he testified was classified. Mr. Comey also testified that immediately after he was terminated, he authorized his friends to leak the contents of those memos to the press in order to, in Mr. Comey's words, quote, prompt the appointment of a special counsel.
Kasowitz also challenged Comey's assertion that it was in response to a tweet that he leaked that memo, pointing out that in the New York Times the day before the president's tweet, there was information from the dinner, which he believes came from a memo that Comey had leaked before the tweet actually happened. Shep?
John Roberts on the North Lawn. John, thank you. Much more ahead on James Comey's testimony today. Fox News Sunday anchor Chris Wallace will be with us and have his take. That's coming up from the Fox News Desk.
Hi, I'm Ty Young. What if there was an investment strategy where your money was completely protected against market losses? You would go up with the stock market, your gains lock in, and when the market goes down, you don't lose anything. Literally, you go up with your money, never down, forwards and never backwards. What if that investment strategy actually existed? Good news, it does. Get your investor's kit and I'll personally explain on the DVD how it works. You decide if it's right for you.
Get your investor's kit. Call 800-557-7379 or tyjyoung.net.
When you really philosophize about it, there's only one thing you don't have enough of, and that's time. Time is the only scarce commodity. When you come to that realization, I think it's very important that you spend your time wisely. And what better way of spending time than traveling and continuing to educate ourselves and continue to broaden our minds.
Finished. You wouldn't want your painter to quit partway.
Think you missed a spot.
So when it comes to pain relievers, why put up with just part of a day? Aleve. Live whole, not part.
You want this color over the whole house.
It's our biggest Craftsman sale of the year at Ace.
With over $600 in Craftsman savings across the store.
We'll help you find the perfect gift for Father's Day, which is coming up.
I know, Dad.
Hurry in for the biggest Craftsman sale at Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Come with us to a new world, deeper than the ocean, as unfathomable as the universe. A world that doesn't exist outside you, but within you. Where breakthrough science is replacing chemotherapy with immunotherapy. Where we can now attack the causes of disease, not just the symptoms. Where medicines once produced for all are now designed to fit you. Today, 140,000 biopharmaceutical researchers go boldly to discover treatments and cures unimaginable 10 years ago and are on the verge of more tomorrow.
More now on our Fox Top story, the fired FBI Director James Comey's bombshell testimony today. Let's turn to the Fox News Sunday anchor, Chris Wallace. Chris, your thoughts in the main on how it went and what jumped out at you?
Well, I thought that it was a mixed bag. On the legal side, it wasn't bad for President Trump. Comey said that as of the day he was fired, that Trump was still not the target of a criminal investigation. That's good news. And he certainly wasn't going to go to the question of obstruction of justice. He was not quite clear in his own mind whether it rose to that level, and he said he was going to leave it to the special counsel, as he probably should. So in a legal sense, he certainly didn't drop any bombs on President Trump. In a political sense, it was very damaging. He out and out called the president a liar. He basically said I had to write down and memorialize every single contact I had because I thought he might lie about it. His recounting of what happened on that dinner in the green room at the White House was not January 27th, was almost theatrically awkward. And then even more chilling was his conversation about the February 14th when, and this was, I thought, his most powerful point when this is the supposed conversation where the president asked him to let the Flynn matter go. He talked in great detail about the fact that the president ordered the Attorney General, the Vice President, the Chief of Staff, and Jared Kushner, his senior advisor and son-in-law, out of the Oval Office, even when they resisted, so that he could meet alone with Comey. And Comey, in effect, said, why would he do that if it was something innocent?
He seemed to be saying Donald Trump is a man who lies, you cannot trust him, working at the matter of credibility, which I guess in a he said, it all comes down to that.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. Also, you've got these memos, and we're, at some point we've got to look at them. I don't expect that they're going to be anything very different than what he has told us and what he said in his opening statement, and frankly, what's been leaked. And that, of course, is something that won't work very well to Comey's benefit, the fact that he admitted, although very openly, I have to say, he didn't beat around the bush about it, that after the president put out the tweet about, well, maybe there are tapes, that he thought, I better get my side of the story out there. And he said openly, I directed a friend of mine, a Columbia Law School professor, to leak it to the New York Times. But obviously, the idea of a member, the leader of America's top law enforcement agency saying that he was leaking to the New York Times is curious. And I have to say, I don't know that I ever remember that happening.
He said he would leave this up to those in charge to decide whether this was obstruction of justice. But I guess part of what just happened was that played out in the court of public opinion.
Yeah, well, that's why I say there are two aspects to this, the legal side and the political side. The political side is going to hurt the president. And first of all, it hurts him because, here we are, 6 hours after the testimony started, 5 hours, and we're still talking about it, and we will be talking about it for days and have been talking about it for days. So it just completely swamps the president's agenda. His numbers in the polls, for a variety of reasons, but certainly this is a big one, have been declining. So his ability to marshal support on Capitol Hill among members of his own party and get health care reform or tax reform or a clean debt limit or a budget, all of these things, has been severely compromised by this. Doesn't mean it's fatal, doesn't mean he can't recover from it, but this has done damage.
There are reports the president watched it, to have been a fly on the wall. From your reporting, past reporting, how do you think this went down in the president's head?
Well, look, he obviously didn't like some of the stuff that was said, and he sent Mark Kasowitz, his lead attorney, somebody that he has had a long relationship with, out to make a very combative statement and basically to say that, one, to declare victory, that in a legal sense, the president is off the hook, according to Kasowitz. Obviously, Comey didn't go that far. And then also to flatly deny a number of things. He said he didn't demand loyalty. He didn't demand that the Flynn investigation go. But, there are questions out there. I think the biggest question is why, if the president was just having an innocent conversation, why did he demand that all of these top officials leave the Oval Office before he met alone with Comey for the supposed Flynn conversation on February 14th? We haven't heard a credible answer from the White House on that.
Chris Wallace from Fox News Sunday. Thank you, Chris.
You bet.
So if James Comey's testimony is all true, could President Trump be, in anyone's eyes, guilty of obstruction of justice? Well, we'll ask on the legal matter. Judge Andrew Napolitano next.
Do you know which investment could be your best performer this year? Stocks, real estate, bonds? None of the above. It's silver. This year, it's already up over 12%, and many experts say silver is set to soar to new record highs.
I think silver's going to $200 an ounce.
Call now to get this free report, The Case for $200 Silver, and learn about silver's huge upside potential.
If I could only invest in one thing, it'd be silver. Silver is running out. It's in short supply. It is one of the greatest investments you could have right now.
Call Lear Capital for your free report, The Case for $200 Silver. See why silver could skyrocket 50% this year, why financial experts and investment banks are hoarding silver at today's low price, and how silver can help protect your savings from global turmoil. Call today and get up to $600 in free silver. This offer ends soon. Call 1-800-927-2400. 1-800-927-2400.
At Joseph A. Bank, buy one, get one free and get all your wardrobe essentials. Also, buy one, get one 50% off on shoes, plus traveler suits are $249, and all signature sport coats and blazers are just $199. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast.
It's not how fast you mow.
It's how well you mow fast.
They're not just words to mow by, they're words to live by. The John Deere
health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try
Health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now. 800-650-41.
Health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-650-4157. Or visit SoClean.com today.
The fired FBI director.
Bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-650-4157. Or visit SoClean.com today.
The fired FBI director.
To testify in the civil. Right. Now, that was not in a criminal prosecution. That was in the civil case, the Paul Jones. To testify in the civil. Right. Now, that was not in a criminal prosecution. That was in the civil case, the Paul Jones lawsuit against him. I don't know where this is going to go. The to testify in the civil. Right. Now, that was not in a criminal prosecution. That was in the civil case, the Paul Jones lawsuit against him. I don't know where this is going to go. The president did not have a good day, and his lawyer, whom I know and who's a very, very fine lawyer, in my view, did not adequately, in 3 minutes, rebut what Jim Comey took 3 hours. In the civil. Right. Now, that was not in a criminal prosecution. That was in the civil case, the Paul Jones lawsuit against him. I don't know where this is going to go. The president did not have a good day, and his lawyer, whom I know and who's a very, very fine lawyer, in my view, did not adequately, in 3 minutes, rebut what Jim Comey took 3 hours to convey to the country. That impression that he conveyed is still out there.
Then there's the
in the civil. Right. Now, that was not in a criminal prosecution. That was in the civil case, the Paul Jones lawsuit against him. I don't know where this is going to go. The president did not have a good day, and his lawyer, whom I know and who's a very, very fine lawyer, in my view, did not adequately, in 3 minutes, rebut what Jim Comey took 3 hours to convey to the country. That impression that he conveyed is still out there.
Then there's the matter of what some are calling the leak, and it was not a leak. And for
lawsuit against him. I don't know where this is going to go. The president did not have a good day, and his lawyer, whom I know and who's a very, very fine lawyer, in my view, did not adequately, in 3 minutes, rebut what Jim Comey took 3 hours to convey to the country. That impression that he conveyed is still out there.
Then there's the matter of what some are calling the leak, and it was not a leak. And for a number of reasons. When James Comey gave his information to his friend at Columbia Law to pass along to the New York Times so the word got out, that's not a leak.
No, that is not a leak because it's not classified material.
And he's not a government employee.
And he's not a government employee. Comey's not a government employee. The professor's not a government employee. It was an impression that Jim Comey wrote. I'm holding up my iPhone. We now know he wrote it on a laptop. From one of his conversations with the president.
So that everybody's all caught up in leaks now. Rather, to avoid the substance, one focuses upon the leaks.
Right.
But in this case, you can't call it a leak because it wasn't even a leak.
Correct. People tend to call a leak anything below the radar screen that makes its way to the media. But a leak...
Then everything's a leak.
Then everything's a leak, right. We thrive on leaks being in this business. But a leak must be something that the leaker did not have the authority to give out, which is typically classified material, state secrets.
You used to visit with the president before he was the president. You know him pretty well. You've known him for decades.
Right.
How's he going to take this day?
Not well. Not well. I know how strong and towering his personality is, and I know how strong his opinion has been rumored for a long time from and after today.
You talking Sean Spicer?
Well, I mean, I know
Jeff Sessions.
Yeah, well, that was a shock too to learn 3 days ago that his strongest supporter, his longest time supporter, his first supporter amongst Republicans in the U.S. Senate. For a long time from and after today.
You talking Sean Spicer?
Well, I mean, I know
Jeff Sessions.
Yeah, well, that was a shock too to learn 3 days ago that his strongest supporter, his longest time supporter, his first supporter amongst Republicans in the U.S. Senate, a person he probably talked to about becoming Attorney General a long time ago, is so disgusted with the way for a long time from and after today.
You talking Sean Spicer?
Well, I mean, I know
Jeff Sessions.
Yeah, well, that was a shock too to learn 3 days ago that his strongest supporter, his longest time supporter, his first supporter amongst Republicans in the U.S. Senate, a person he probably talked to about becoming Attorney General a long time ago, is so disgusted with the way things are going that he offered to resign, and the president rejected the offer.
He didn't like that Jeff Sessions recused
To get all breaking news.
And widely for it.
Last thing, very quickly, the administration and maybe even the president are going to meet with Russian officials tomorrow.
What wonderful timing.
Amazing. Britt, as always, thanks for staying late.
Brett.
What's your reaction to the Comey firing? Let me know on Twitter at Brett Baer. Use the hashtag Special Report, or on Facebook at facebook.com/BrettBaerSR. Coming up, we'll talk about this day, the surprise firing of the FBI Director James Comey, and what's next. An expanded panel joins me after the break.
Oh, look, that little girl got a double scoop. Vanilla and strawberry and chocolate sauce and nuts.
And why shouldn't she get all the trimmings, Stephen? Her mum did.
Huh?
With Hastings Direct, she got de facto 5-star rated car insurance at a great price, plus a load of tasty extras included as standard. With a deal that good, she could ask mum for a flake, too.
And fudge and sprinkles.
Ugh, funny, doesn't look like rain.
Hastings Direct, refreshingly straightforward car insurance.
0800 00 1066.
Or visit our website.
I lost 4 stone with Weight Watchers. Yes! I love Weight Watchers.
I couldn't have done it without Weight Watchers. Support from my coach has been amazing.
The app is my best friend. I can scan almost everything. I never feel guilty about what I eat. And I still get to eat great food.
We try to make something new every week. That hasn't changed. No food is off limits.
Lose £10 in your first 8 weeks and get 2 months refunded. Join today.
So, July is Rich and same day Dad. August, Lucy's 40. September, 6th birthday, 6. October, Nan. November, John and Gramps. December's Auntie May. And Christmas.